One sec. Just putting the rubber band back on, because I forgot I needed to do that. For some reason my right pinky started hurting tonight. Even though nothing happened. Alright, so I spent all day today day skipping and trying to get a basculin outbreak. No luck. That was not a doorbell, that was my computer with a notification or whatever it was, if you even heard that. So once again, both hands are pretty busy right now. One resetting for Latias, the other one day skipping until I get a basculin outbreak, which I spent all day trying to get today. Yeah, it really could take hours to get one. Get the one you want. Maybe I should go close that door. But who cares, right? I just hope this reclaim happens quick, you know? Because it has every potential to take as long as Mewtwo did. And you know, that long for a reclaim would suck. You guys remember what I said was my luckiest shiny encounter? Aside from Thunderous, first attempt in Dynamax Adventures? It was in these games. Kyogre, second attempt. One encounter, not shiny, reset. Next encounter was shiny. Alright, now if y'all would excuse me, I'm just gonna finish up a video by Nerdrotic. And then afterwards, today we have a couple of shows to talk about. I, once again, have not yet watched the brand new Active Dry Yeast Games episode yet. Because once again, I flat out forgot. So instead, today we will only have to talk about The Boys, Arcane, and Secret Level. I didn't even watch an episode of Daredevil yet today. You know, once again, it's a lot of time to set aside to watch all these shows. So there is one thing about the Sonic 3 movie I forgot to mention. They reused Knuckles' scream like 3 times in the movie. The way Knuckles screamed in the trailer when Shadow twisted his arm, they reused that exact same scream sound 3 times in the movie. They couldn't have Idris Elba scream differently into the mic? Or were they just like, yeah, that's gold, that's perfect. We can use it as many times as we want. It's that good. And then there was also one moment where I can't help but notice that Keanu Reeves' voice acting in this particular moment was pretty bad. It was when the Eclipse Cannon was, beginning to malfunction. Eggman staring out the window. Shadow teleports right behind him. And then they both devise a plan to stop the Eclipse Cannon and save the Earth. At that moment, for some reason, his voice acting just wasn't good. It was pretty good for the rest of the movie, but that one scene, it just didn't land. Is it just me? Was it just me who thought that, or did anyone else pick up on that? Oh yeah, I also didn't realize that they actually already revealed the logo for Sonic the Hedgehog 4. And the number 4 in the title is pink. Pink for Amy. And you know something else? I mentioned last time talking about the movie that they just don't reference the broken pissed-on moon anymore. Well, there is one moment, and it's actually when Amy shows up. She shows up in front of a, broken full moon. I'll be honest, I didn't even notice that. I was just too focused on my girl Amy finally showing up. And also because I was caught off guard with Metal Sonic. So yeah, the Sonic the Hedgehog 4 logo has already been revealed a couple days ago. I didn't know that. And speaking of not knowing, so it turns out that it's already been confirmed, hopefully it doesn't get canceled, it's already been confirmed that we are going to get 2 more The Boys spin-off. We already have Gen V, which is getting Season 2 at some point. I still have yet to watch Season 1. We're gonna get 2 more The Boys spin-off, which this is the first I'm hearing of this. We are getting The Boys Mexico, I think. And then The Boys Vought Uprising. So I think both of those are pretty self-explanatory what they are. Vought Uprising, I think you can guess. Telling the origin story, the backstory, the uprising of Vought. And then for Mexico, I feel like we're probably going to follow a brand new cast of characters, tell their perspective. I imagine it would probably be around the same kind of storytelling. We have one group of characters, we have a Mexican group of soups. They conflict, and maybe now and then we'll see like Homelander on the TV. I really doubt Anthony Starr will, just show up. But hey, that'd be cool. I would not mind. It'd be cool if he did show up. And then you reference it during the other shows or the main show. It's kind of like the Arrowverse when one of the characters would just cameo on another show randomly. And then maybe or may not reference it back on their own show. I miss those moments. We're just never going to get those moments again. So yeah, back to finishing this video. Oops. Oh, I may need to go and close the door. And that's why I needed to close the door.
Before Dad started Mahjong, did anyone like the dog's pee? 这样我希望你朋友没看过。
I bet that was picked up, right? Did you guys hear that? Did the mic pick that up? You say here what? And I call liar. Anyways, so a friend of mine just sent this video to us. Nothing like saltwater soup for dinner. Nothing like saltwater soup. And I have sugar water for dessert. I'm going all out tonight. Nothing like saltwater soup. And I have sugar water for dessert. I'm going all out tonight. I'm gonna have to keep that in mind for struggle meals at some point. So, video's almost done. I got like not even 2 minutes left, and then I'll start talking. Alright, video's done. So, you know that trip I mentioned before? That trip to Japan my friends and I were planning? Well, it seems like, at the moment for me, it's a no-go. God damn it. Believe me, I want to go. Although it seems like every force in the universe is saying no. So, the reason... First and foremost, my parents don't want me to go, aside from the price, because you can probably expect a trip to Japan is quite costly. Actually, before I continue talking, let me put on some music. So, why don't my parents want me to go? Well, you know, typical parent behavior. It's like, you know, no matter how old you get, you're still treated like a kid. You're still treated like their kid, which is true. No matter how old you get, and I'm not too old, I'll be honest. No matter how old you get, no matter how big you grow up, they'll always worry. And there's always just natural concerns, so I'm not blaming them for that. You know, the whole thing like, well, it's so far away, what if something happens? If anything happens, we can't help you. So, you know, yeah, I'm not blaming my parents for that. You know, I understand. Another big reason, and like probably the top concern, I don't know, in terms of whenever I watch the news, I mostly watch American politics because they're funny. I don't really keep up with news in Japan. Apparently there's a lot of like kidnappings and abductions happening in Japan. That's what my parents tell me. Right? I don't know what news they watch. You know, I would say back to them what they tell me. Don't trust everything on the internet, but it's like, well, who am I gonna argue with the parents, right? What they say is factual. Everything they say must be true, right? And all jokes aside, you know, my parents are just trying to look out for me. They would never intentionally say or do anything to harm me, right? So, my parents hear that there's a lot of kidnappings and whatnot that are happening in Japan right now, so they clearly don't want a, soft, squishy boy like me to go there. Now, yes, I am going to I am going to Japan with my parents literally in like a month and a half. But their argument for that is they'll be with me. The adults will be with me. So if anything happens, they can be there, or they know the red flags, the signs to look out for to prevent anything from happening. Borderline forgetting that I too now am a grown adult, which, like I said, no matter how old you get, your parents will still always see you as their kid to protect, which, understandable, yeah. You don't know a lot of, but you don't doubt it? Oh, yeah, I don't doubt that there are kidnappings that happen just in general. Doesn't have to be Japan. Can just happen anywhere in the world, because that's the sick, twisted world we live in. So, they would feel more comfortable if they themselves were with me, present with me, instead of basically just a small group of, dumbass guys who don't know what they're doing. Or rather, just me, because my friends are way more smarter and mature than I am. Let's just face facts now. I'll be honest, I don't know a single thing about planning trips, looking at airlines, buying plane tickets, booking hotels. I know absolutely nothing about that stuff. So, my friends take care of all of it, or at least they did, right? Trying to plan this trip. So yeah, it seems like the whole plan to do a trip fell apart, mostly on my end. It seems like 3 of them are still gonna go, regardless of if I tag along or not. So originally, it was going to be the 7 of us, because there's 7 of us in my group of friends. Well, 1 doesn't seem like he was able to go regardless, because he doesn't have money. He doesn't have a job, he doesn't have money. So, okay, down to 6. And then, 2 of them say, well, we might be changing jobs in a few months. So, with the changing of careers, changing of jobs, who knows if we were able to get, like, a week off once we started a brand new job, so it's a maybe for us. Okay, so now it's down to 4. And now with my parents being hesitant and having second thoughts letting me go across the planet, now we're down to 3. So it's like, yeah, one by one, the plan is falling apart. My parents are always the ones to say, like, we want you to go out and see the world. We want you to travel and see the world. And then when I finally planned to, it's like, oh, no, we changed our mind, don't go. And there's this other thing that my dad is trying to get me to do, or rather trying to get me back to doing, which is school. I graduated, I don't even remember how long ago now. And I don't even remember when I did the exam. Regardless, it's been a while, years of school, even more years of failing school. Well, once I finally graduated, once I finally passed, and I was done, I wanted to take a break, you know? How many straight years of school is it? Not only college, but, you know, remember, first grade to high school, plus kindergarten. That's like 15 years of nonstop school. I would have liked to take a small break. I don't think that's the most outlandish thing to ask for in life. And, well, if I go back to school now, I will never go on a trip until it's done, you know? Because then I got classes to do, assignments to take care of, exams to study for. It's like, well, if I go back to school right away, I'm never gonna leave. I'm never gonna see the world. So my plan, at least at the moment, was to, you know, go on a trip or two, see the world, and then come back, do more school. Well, we were planning a trip. Nope, never mind. And, you know, same thing for me finding a job. If I were to find a job, the same thing as what two of my friends are going through. I get a new job, who knows if I'm able to, you know, take a week off after just starting to work there to go on a trip. So it's like, So, a friend of mine came to visit me at work today, the guy who recommended From to me. And he just kept on blabbering about how he has, like, dates upon dates piled up that he got from Hinge. I'm just like, wow. Thanks for rubbing it in, you know? Me using Hinge, nothing. You using Hinge, it's like so many dates. Wow. I guess I just don't have aura like you do. I just don't got the riz like you do. You know what else I don't have compared to him? Height. Buddy, basically like 6 feet tall. If not 6, then like 5'11". It's like, damn. The difference being a tall person makes compared to being a short person. I guess from, you know, lack of height, I also lack aura and charm to, you know, really interest any ladies out there. And, well, that's just a sad reality I live in. That's just me. The hell you talking about, huh? Don't tell me, nah, bro, you got aura, Mr. Tall Man. I ain't trying to hear it from your tall, skinny ass. Literal opposite end of the spectrum compared to me. Alright. Let's see, is there anything else to mention before talking about The Boys? I already mentioned how we're getting 2 more spin-offs from it. We're getting The Boys. We're getting the VOT cinematic universe. I didn't watch Beast Games yet. I forgot, and I straight up didn't have time when I remembered to watch it. So I'll watch it for next time, if I remember to. Damn, you know what's a real shame? Considering the fact that The Boys is making so many spin-offs and making their own universe, their interconnected universe, across several shows. What's such a shame is the fact that this is a streaming series show. It's on a streaming service, so it doesn't air on cable week to week. Yes, it comes out week to week, I think, on streaming. However, the issue with that is, one show at a time airs. One season drops its episodes at a time. So we won't get, both one season of The Boys and then one season of Gen V both airing at the same time. That's just not gonna happen. And the reason that's such a shame is because, well, these are interconnected shows taking place in the same world. We can get crossovers, we can get characters showing up, just like the Arrowverse did. If only someone here stuck around and saw that magic as it played out. Nope, we're just never gonna get something like that ever again. Because cable TV, that's ancient history at this point. Yo, From and The Walking Dead are connected too. I would rather say Invincible and The Walking Dead are connected. But they had a chance, they didn't do it. Alright, let me change the music and then let's talk about The Boys. No, I have not watched The Last of Us. I'm gonna see Pedro Pascal as Mr. Fantastic, Reed Richards anyways. You put a big fat capital man in the chat. Let me ask you something. Hold on. Let me look something up real quick. The Last of Us release date. Not the game. Season 1 release date. January 15th. Wow, almost exactly 2 years ago. January 15th, 2023. 2 years ago. 2 years ago? And we still don't have a season 2? Damn, y'all had it rough. Poor you guys. Waiting over 2 years just for a second season. Remember the good old days? Talking back to cable, remember the good old days when a season of television would last the whole year? And then you would get another season 6 months to just over 6 months later, 6 months to a year later, you would get another season. Nah! Y'all impatient, ungrateful brats had to go, praising streaming services now, and look at this. 2 years without a brand new season. Congratulations, y'all played yourself. Anyways, the reason I bring this up, when was The Last of Us Season 1 released? January 15th, 2023, so 2 years ago. And you saying, you put an all caps, man, in the chat, like, why didn't I watch it? I had so much time. Let me look something else real quick. The Walking Dead release date. Oh, look at that. October 31st, 2010. Oh, you're telling me in the 15 years since the show started, you didn't watch and finish it? Man. Joke's on you, I didn't hear about it till you brought up the show. That's even worse. That doesn't help your argument. That only makes it worse. Alright, let's talk about The Boys. Which episode was this? Episode 7? Of Season 2? I'm pretty sure it's Season 2. Season 2. Pretty sure it's Episode 7 of Season 2 is what I just watched. Okay, I'm thinking of Arcane. I was remembering the episode started off in a really stupid way. No, that's Arcane I'm thinking of. Alright, and once again, the level of gore in this episode, in this show, so far from what I've seen, it's like, I've seen worse. This doesn't faze me whatsoever. The amount of gore in this episode, it's like, what's new? I still have yet to see really anything that makes me really squirm, really uncomfortable, really makes me want to throw up. I have yet to see anything of that degree. How did this episode open? I think it started off with our characters trying to make a deal with Congress. Because now they have Lamplighter, who can actually testify against Vought, against everything that they're doing. And actually, before I continue, let me just make sure of something. Yep. I just looked up the cast for X-Men. It was indeed Shawn Ashmore. Because, you know, there are two of them. There's Aaron and Shawn. Just wanted to make sure. Shawn was the one for X-Men, for Marvel. Aaron was the one playing Jimmy Olsen on Smallville for DC. So it's pretty funny for me seeing Shawn Ashmore as Iceman, going from Iceman to Lamplighter. Literally going from ice to fire. So it's good to see Huey's back. You know, he was in the hospital at the end of the episode. So good to see that he's back on his feet. So we can assume it's been a little bit of time since then. Huey with a giant shard of glass in his gut. That takes time to heal. Takes even more time for it to fully heal and then for him to be dispatched from the hospital. So assuming it's been a little bit of time since the last episode. And during that time, these guys have been busy. They've been in contact with Congress, talking about, you know, revealing all of Vought's dirty little secrets when it comes to Compound V and trying to perfect it. Perfected for giving to adults, that is. Oh yeah, I think we learned Frenchie's true name. And it's like Serge. You know, this show, a lot of characters don't really use their real names. We've only heard the Deep be called Kevin like twice. We heard Homelander be called John, I think, once. And I don't even remember what A-Train's real name is. I don't really care. I think Maeve's name is just Maeve. Oh, right, I remember how this episode opened now. And it was a really pointless opening. We follow this fat guy, just living day to day. And then, you know, he seems like a big, you know, stan, a big simp for Stormfront. You know, every day we see his daily routine. The same thing over and over. Wakes up, checks the news, I think always watches Stormfront. I think kisses his mother goodbye. And then he goes to, like, the convenience store or whatever, buys the same thing every day. And then he just gets brainwashed by the media, by basically Stormfront, saying, you know, these illegal terrorist soups infiltrating our country. Wow, sounds a little familiar to what's happening in real life. And then what does he do? He pulls a gun on that poor innocent cashier worker who's been selling him whatever he's been buying for who knows how long, and just, you know, shoots him straight in the face. And we don't follow with that again. Not really. We don't follow this guy who shot him at all. We don't see any repercussion from it. All that's mentioned is the dude who was shot later on. It's just mentioned. So I guess it was a decent, like, small little scene to include, showing the impact the soups, the Seven have on just day-to-day folks. Your average Joes. Alright, so our characters, our heroes, the boys, they all have their jobs to do. First of all, Butcher, he gets a call from his mom, and so, you know, she tells him that Butcher's father's dying, to come see him one last time, so he's off doing that. MM and Mallory set out to meet with Dr. what's his name? The guy who raised and experimented on Homelander. What was his name again? Dr. something. Oh, Vogelbaum. That's right. That's his name. Dr. Vogelbaum. They talk to him, trying to get information out of him, basically trying to get him to say everything against Vought, but he refuses. Frenchie and Kimiko are tasked with following, I don't really know who. They had a very small scene. It was a very nice, wholesome scene where Kimiko finally teaches, or begins to teach, Frenchie her original sign language. Once again, I don't know if I was supposed to see subtitles whenever she does her sign language. If I was, I didn't see them. So I don't know what she was trying to say throughout the show. I guess I'm left in the dark just like Frenchie was. There was also no subtitles for her brother, so I don't know what the two of them were saying whatsoever. Huey is tasked with simply just watching Lamplighter. And what do? Well, they just watch Vought porn. I don't know if Vought themselves signed off on it or if it's just parodies. I'm pretty sure it was Vought who signed off on them because like they're burned onto CDs for God's sake. They're not online parodies. They're actually like porn flicks made. I guess it would be too damaging to the brand to really have, to have the real Homelander in a porn flick sleeping with the guy's wife. So of course they have an actor playing Homelander. It's like, really? Really now? Thoughts on... Oh. I'll talk about that in a moment. But yeah, to my surprise, there were a lot of boobies on screen. There was a lot of penises on screen this episode. So yeah, that was out of all the things I've seen this show so far, nudity still surprises me just because of how little it actually happens. You'd be surprised the amount of gore that happens is more than the amount of tits on screen. Well, Annie meets with her mother. They talk. Annie doesn't like her life right now. She's caught in the middle of Vought and what she believes in. Everything she thought of is an absolute lie. The reason, her mother raised her to be, trying to do the right thing, and then Vought being an absolute lie straight to her face. Vought not being what she thought it was. It's all about capitalism. It's all about the money. So her mother had the absolute genius bright idea to try to just run away. Try to just leave. She even contacted Vought about that. Good job, lady. So they get attacked. Black Noir takes them both. And then Annie gets locked up in this, I think it was like 42D, level 42D cell, where it is damn near soup proof. There was very little power in the room, so she wasn't able to absorb power to just bust out. Well, Homelander and Stormfront hold like a public meeting, a public conference to rile up the crowd. Get everyone cheering for more Compound V. We need more Compound V. We need more soups, more superheroes to protect us. So now they got the public hoping for more Compound V, more soups to be created. Now that they know soups aren't born this way, they're made. Well, how do you rectify that? How do you change the public's feelings towards you if they're negative? Scare them. You scare them, you make them think, oh my god, we're in danger. There's a lot of soup terrorists coming. We need more soups of our own to protect us. More V, more V. And then, wow, just showing how corrupt the Seven are. They out Starlight as a mole. She betrayed them. She was the one who killed Translucent. I'll be honest, I'm surprised it took them this long to do it. Instead of just simply killing her, I think it was Stormfront who advocated to keep her alive, at least for now. And it's actually this moment when Homelander and Stormfront are on stage. This is when they mention that poor guy who was killed at the beginning of the episode. And that's it. They just brush it off. Well, Maeve and Elena, they get into a bit of a debacle. They get into a fight. It seems like they break up. Next scene we see Maeve. She just slept with a man. And that's bad for marketing, because Ashley's just like, oh my god, you can't be seen like this. You were supposed to be like, you know, the second best lesbian couple in the world. Who's the first? Who's the first? Ellen? I feel like nobody listened to them when Elena said she's bi, not straight up gay les. Like, open your ears, people. And hey, look at that. Ashley does have a hint of humanity in her. Because Maeve is just like, Ashley, just be a human being for once. Recognize that I just went through a breakup and that I'm coping. And look at that, Ashley does have humanity in her. Also, something I forgot to mention about Ashley in like 2 episodes ago. I don't know if I was seeing wrong or not. There was this one scene where it looked like Ashley, she just pulled a clump of hair off her head. I could have seen it wrong, or is she sick? I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure what I was seeing. So, you know, maybe that's worth pointing out, maybe it's not. We'll have to see. Well, because of the stuff that Homelander announced about Starlight. Well, Huey can't take the porn anymore, so he changes the channel. And then he changes it to the news where, you know, Homelander just announces to the world that Starlight is a mole. They need to go and save her, assuming she's still alive. So he and Lamplighter team up. They infiltrate Vought Tower through like a secret entrance. So you know, while they're heading towards Vought Tower, Butcher meets with his parents. Turns out his father's still alive, but he's dying. He doesn't have a lot of time. The reason he called him is to, you know, finally try to say goodbye. Because he never got a chance to say goodbye to Lenny, his other son who died. These two are not friendly. Butcher does not like his father whatsoever. Nearly killed him too. I almost expected him to. I almost expected him to just push him off the balcony. So it's kind of interesting to see Butcher's parents for the first time. I'm curious, haven't I seen Carl Urban in something else? Oh, he's New Zealand. I didn't know that. All right. He played Scourge in Thor Ragnarok. That's what I've seen him before in. Right. I didn't recognize him with hair and a beard. Didn't he have a beard in that too? No, he had a goatee. Wow. Wow, he is unrecognizable. Yeah, I didn't recognize him with hair. I knew I've seen him in something else, I just couldn't remember. Anyways. So, yeah. Huey and Lamplighter break into Vought Tower. Seems like a wild, you know, missight on Vaught's side, because Lamplighter is still in the system. He's still able to use his handprint to get into the tower, get into restricted area. It's like, seems like a major insight for Vought to not remember to erase him from the system. But hey, our characters need plot armor, right? They need convenient plot armor. Alright, the song's about to end. So they break in, they make it to the conference area where the seven hold their meetings. We haven't seen them do that in a while. And then Lamplighter is disappointed to see that they removed his statue. His statue is gone. He wanted to do it in front of his statue. What did he want to do? At first I thought he was going to turn around and try to kill Huey. But no, what he does is he sets himself on fire. So he, kills himself. YouTube doesn't like it when you say it like that. They rather they unalives himself. But I'm not going to say something stupid like that. So he burns himself to a crisp, setting off the sprinklers in the tower, causing, an alert for everyone to evacuate. Also showing off this, flashing light in Annie's cell, thus giving her a charge of power to use to break free. Huey, now trapped alone in the lion's den, he needs to escape. And quick. But he needs Lamplighter's hand to do so. So he, just breaks it off, cuts it off with broken glass. Which, not the worst thing I've seen. Remember when Rick had to cut off Jesse's hand? Yeah. Or remember when Rick had to cut off his own hand? So on the way out, he frees Annie's mother and then runs into Annie. Now they are reunited and they need to escape. Butcher, on the other hand, he goes and meets Dr. Vogelbaum and takes care of things. The stupid doctor didn't realize that, his own family could be simply threatened to get him to comply. Seriously? Didn't think about that? Especially with the fact that your own daughter came to look after you? Really, man? Oh, right. There was also a fight. I completely forgot to mention this. There was a fight between Black Noir and Starlight and Annie, showing just truly how strong Black Noir is. He was about to choke out and kill Annie, but then someone came to her rescue. At first I thought it would be Huey, but Huey's no match against Black Noir. Instead, it was actually Maeve who came to her rescue. She begins to peel off his mask, showing, a scarred body underneath. She puts a bar into his mouth. She puts something into his mouth. We learned a couple episodes ago that, Annie's favorite candy bar is hated among the general public, viewed as one of the worst candy bars. The reason Maeve did that is because Black Noir has a severe nut allergy. So, the way it was phrased just now in the chat, yes, Black Noir lost to a nut. I don't know why, this is just a genuine question. Why do so many people have peanut allergies? What is it in peanuts that certain human bodies just cannot process? Thankfully, I don't have a nut allergy, so I can eat all the nuts I want. Pause! Mega pause on that. I'm not the biggest fan of peanuts anyways. I'm much more a fan of pistachios and walnuts. Walnuts? No, not walnuts, cashews. Walnuts I find okay. I don't like how, it kind of turns flaky. You know what I mean? You ever been eating a walnut and then you just get these little bits in your mouth, almost like you're eating coconut shavings? Which I also don't like. I don't like coconut shavings at all. But yeah, I'm not actually the biggest fan of peanuts. I'll eat them, but it's like I'll never go out of my way for them. Unlike pistachios and cashews. Now those I actually would go out of my way for. More so pistachios. Less so walnuts. Oh my god. Less so cashews. Anyways, enough talking about nuts. So the team is now figuring out what do we do. Our star witness got himself killed by killing himself. Butcher's like, don't worry, I got it taken care of. Him threatening Vogelbaum got him to comply and testify in court against Vought. So our characters are watching the news, watching it play out in live TV. Vogelbaum in the courtroom is about to testify against Vought, and then heads start exploding. Head after head just begins to pop. And I'm actually not too sure why. People were, not even people. Earlier in the season, it's believed that Stormfront caused it. But I'm not too sure. There was no evidence that Stormfront was the cause of all these popping noggins. So I'm not too sure if it was the cause of Stormfront. It could be, though I'm not too sure. Because Stormfront and Homelander, they were both pretty unfazed by all the popping heads. And I think that's where the episode ends. All of the heads start bursting like, balloons. Yeah, all that gore didn't really faze me. All those heads exploding is just like, I've seen worse. It was a surprise, I'll say that. Definitely unexpected. I expected something to, hinder the court hearing, but it's like I didn't expect heads to start popping. Still date skipping, still nothing. You know, as annoying as it is for me to right now be day skipping for an outbreak, it certainly beats the alternative of breeding and hatching for 3 shinies once again. Nah, I bred for 3 shiny white stripe basculins before. Not again. Mostly because the shiny sucks and is quite hard to notice. And once again, because the fact that I need 3. 1 as a basculin, doesn't matter which gender, and then a male and a female to evolve into both Basculegion forms. Yeah, no. I am not breeding for 3 again. I don't care how long it takes, I will get this outbreak, even if I have to date skip for a week. And you know, doing it without an outbreak is definitely an option, but it would just be so much more annoying, considering other water types spawn here. Choodle and Quagsire spawn here. I don't want to phase on them. I just want the Basculin and then moving on. So I will stand here, I will sit here, and date skip for as long as it takes until I get the outbreak I want. I gotta grub an outbreak. That's not the one I want, though. I'm not sure if it's tomorrow or Sunday that is Community Day Classic for Ralts. I am definitely gonna grind for this one. I'm gonna grind for candies. I mean, I recently just got 2 shiny Gallades during Mega Gallade Raid Day. So, you know, why not try to get another one? If I get a good IV male one, then I'll definitely evolve it. Alright, I think it's time to change the music once again. to something. I don't know, I saw this in the recommended. I don't want to do it too loud because a lot of Persona music has been getting copyrighted lately. Particularly the Persona 5 music. Nobody... The Atlas doesn't really care about 4 and 3's music. Which sucks, because 5, in my opinion at least, had the best music. Alright, I guess we'll start talking about Arcane then. This episode, episode 7 of Season 2... Season 2 of Season 1. Yeah, this episode opened in a pretty strange and stupid way. What was that group called again? The Firelights? Yeah, the group known as Firelights. They had this, like, almost weird dance montage music video opening for those. I think I forgot to mention this about the last episode, too. I mentioned that Victor met this guy in a cave, and he had this creature that's sick. I don't think I mentioned by the end of the episode, he went back to him. Because we see that exactly in this episode. Victor went back to him, you know, discussing whatever, and then he gets handed a vial of Shimmer. At least a variant of it. Maybe it'll help Victor with whatever's killing him. We don't find out just yet. You know, by the end of the last episode, both Caitlyn and Vi were taken. They were taken by the Firelights. Only Vi was taken, you know, from their 2 captivities. So, you know, they're both tied up, they have bags over their heads, only Vi was taken. She talks to, I presume to be the leader of the Firelights. He takes off his mask, and then who is it? None other than Echo. The kid we saw from the first few episodes. I didn't even consider what happened to him. But we see Echo. He's all grown up, he's leader of, I assume he's leader of the Firelights. It's a small little society that, you know, I guess trying to fight for peace. Their appearances as Green Goblins don't give that off, but whatever. Their little hideout with the big-ass tree reminds me of, what was that place called again? Forest Haven, right? Yeah! It reminds me of Forest Haven in Wind Waker, with the giant Deku tree in the middle. That's what it reminded me of. So the Firelight headquarters, base of operation with the big tree in the middle, Reminded me of Wind Waker's Forest Haven. Did it remind anyone else of that? So yeah, Vi has now reunited with Echo. They strike a deal, you know, also including Caitlyn. They now have the, what was it, the gemstone that they call it? That little blue ball of MacGuffin. They make a deal. So, the people in the Undercity, the Firelights, don't trust the Enforcers because they've treated them like shit for years. Caitlyn's not like them. She doesn't know about the corruption, the truly evil deeds of the Enforcers and the government and, you know, the enforcers of the law and whatnot. So, she makes a deal. She has a friend who sits on the council, Jace. If you bring back the gemstone to them, then, you know, she'll make a plea for like, hey, stop all this bad stuff you're doing to the people of the Undercity. But we know conflict is brewing. Jace now sees the Undercity as a threat. Kinda. So, like, well, tensions are building between Piltover and the Undercity. Well, one condition. Echo wants to be the one to hand it to Jace. Or whoever is her friend on the council. Up above, though, well, Jace, we get this, you know, sequence of him, his hot, sweaty, steamy body working out and making whatever. You know, it was almost like Ben Affleck's Bruce Wayne training montage. You know, Batman with prep time. You know, Jace tells Mel his, you know, regrets, his guilt for voting out Heimdinger from the council. Because, you know, that was his mentor and he betrayed him. Shame on you, Jace. All in the name of innovation. Well, also the order that Jace put in to put a safeguard, to put, you know, a checkpoint at the bridge that connects to the Undercity. Well, that too is causing tension. Undercity, you know, we see Vi and Echo going back and forth like, you know, Powder's gone, it's just Jinx now. You have to stop trying to save her, Vi, there is no saving her. But then Vi is like, no, she's my sister, I can get through to her. And, you know, undo whatever lies has been told to her by Silco. There's also this, like, almost painful sequence to watch. Previous episode, during the conflict, Jinx's leg gets cut open, and here, what does she do? She basically, like, staple guns it back together. Ouch. So, you know, they're enacting their plan. So, you know, Vi, Echo, and Caitlyn, they're walking up the bridge to try to get to the council to deliver the gemstone back to Jace and plead, you know, stop all the fighting. Who's at the checkpoint? None other than dirtbag, corrupt Marcus. Vi actually decides to stay back. Just let Echo and Caitlyn go through, because, you know, she needs to stay back and try to find her sister. But little do they know, Jinx is actually watching them. Still hearing voices in her head. Oh yeah, there was also a scene earlier where she confronted Silco about lying to her. poking him in the face with that thing that needs to stab his eye for some reason. But Silco, he manages to still win Jinx over with, convincing her to be on his side. He tells her you must finish building the machine, the weapon. So Jinx is building something big and powerful. At the bridge, Marcus shoots Echo because he reveals to him that he has the gemstone. And then Marcus just shows off his corrupt side. He hesitates, shooting Caitlyn. That's when a bunch of these, mechanical firelight bugs show up, which are actually bombs. They go off, and Jinx walks over, trying to pick up the gemstone. Because Caitlyn's wounded, Vi needs to help her escape. So, now there's a confrontation. Jinx has the gemstone. Echo can't let her take it. So these childhood friends, now on opposing sides, need to fight. And then there was also this strange and yet tragic sequence where it shows them when they were younger, playing paintball, and then, transitioning to them now as adults, fighting where Jinx is shooting him with real bullets with the intent to kill. It is tragic. Seeing these two once friends basically fight to the death over very serious causes that they both believe in. Well, Echo has the upper hand on her, but he hesitates to finish her. So, what does Jinx do? She pulls a pin on one of her bombs, it goes off, they're both wounded, and I think that's where the episode ends. Wait a second, we also did see Victor with that vial of a variant shimmer. He first carves a bunch of symbols onto his own leg before injecting himself with it. Because it's a variant of Shimmer, it doesn't turn him into a purple Hulk monster. It's pretty subtle. But what does he do? He tries to do something with that hex core because it responds to organic life, organic matter. So we haven't seen how it concludes just yet. His blood with Shimmer flowing through it, interacting with the hex core. We haven't seen how that plays out just yet. Maybe next episode. And that's basically it for this episode. It had hints of tragic characters now on opposing sides, once friends. Unless I forgot about something with this episode. You know, I'm not too sure. Like, I guess I could give, hunting this a try without the outbreak, but it's like, damn. I really don't want to, though. Because, like, what if I phase, right? I don't want to phase. Not a lot much else to talk about. I'll talk about secret level in just a moment. Well, since I'm not really talking about anything right now, I did see a couple videos in my recommended I want to watch, so yeah, I'm gonna plug in my headphones and I'm gonna watch those. I'm still here, folks, don't forget. Just watching some videos on the side. Oh, my neck is tired. Ooh, did you hear that? Oh, I'm tired. Well, let me talk about this secret level episode before I truly watch one last long video. So, secret level episode, I think it was also 7. I kind of want pizza. Maybe tomorrow night. No, it's episode 8, right? Yeah, episode 8. So, episode 8 of Secret Level, this one is based on Armored Core, I think. Yet again, another game I have never heard of. Yeah. Looking up Armored Core real quick. Never seen this before. Sorry. So yeah, because of my lack of knowledge of this game's franchise's existence, I once again didn't really understand what was happening. So we follow our main character. We meet a young Keanu Reeves. He's in a bar. He gets into a fight, but then a voice in his head de-escalates it. So this is a character with a voice in his head. He then, suits himself up with the giant armored mech suit, flies around in an aerial fight against other mechs. They're presumed trying to kill him, but the voice is saying, they're not trying to kill you. Of course they're trying to kill me. Well, I think he won the fight, and then he landed somewhere. He saw another destroyed mech suit on the ground. However, inside was another person. Was a person inside who was also presumably slowly dying. He reached his hand out to try to, grab and try to make peace and contact and whatever. However, Keanu Reeves, with his mech suit, fingertip reached out, and instead of grabbing his hand and trying to make peace, he just keeps going and then just squishes his head. Couple more words from Keanu Reeves, and then that's basically the episode. So I don't know a lot, not even a lot. I don't know anything about Armored Core. So yeah, this episode didn't make too much sense to me. 3D animation was good though. It was very clean. So yeah. There you go. Episode 8 of Armored Core. Episode 9 is The Outer Worlds. I have no idea what that is. Yeah, I've never seen this before. It's really episode 10 I'm excited about, Mega Man. That's the one I want to watch, but I have another episode to get through first. And then episode 13, Concord. I want to see what that episode's talking about. Considering, we know the short lifespan of the Concord game. So, yeah, there you go. Back to my videos. Drink water. Oops. Ugh. Gee, I really wonder what happened to my pinky, because it hurts. I didn't break the bone in my pinky, did I? Out of nowhere, my pinky finger just started hurting tonight. I didn't hit it. I didn't crash into anything. Nothing. Out of nowhere, it just started hurting. Well, I'm gonna leave a little early tonight just for Pokemon Go reasons. So maybe like 10 more minutes. This whole time I've been date skipping, trying to get a basculin outbreak. No luck. Alright, in like minute or two, I'm gonna end this for tonight. Alright, I'm gonna do one last reset after this one, and then gonna call it for tonight. Alright, this will be the last encounter for tonight. Come on, lucky last. And no. Alright, I'm gonna end for tonight. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Goodbye.